Glass. Wow. I feel like that for me makes me think of mirror, looking at yourself, looking at things, window. And so for me, it's very metaphorical, this idea of looking at things differently. That Mr. Glass, he was originally named that because his bones break easily. But in our version, he's asking you to look out the window in a different way. Pizzazz. He's that word is, when he comes on the set, even just as a person, he comes on with swagger. As he walks to his chair, it's always like comes in with a swagger, and then everybody in the room watches him, and then he sits down, and then he'll make some crack about, let's go, motherfuckers, let's go, whatever, it's some crazy thing, and we're all like, ah. And so he always makes me laugh, and always is being irreverent. He's very irreverent. Youth. I don't know why that, I remember the feeling when I came to the idea of Unbreakable. I remember that time period really, really well. It was late 20s, and I had that kind of like, bravado that I don't have now. I don't have that kind of fearlessness like the way that version of me had, where, I was going to do it this way. I don't care what people think. And I felt very determined about it. Whereas now I care what people think a little bit. I'm like, hey, do you like me? Do you like me? Is it okay? Are you happy? Kind of thing. That guy didn't really care at all. And so I feel like youth, the strength of the youth, that kind of, unbreakable. Hero, he's always been a hero in a way. When I was a kid, I used to have Die Hard poster on my wall. And so he's always been a hero to me. And, oftentimes whatever you have around you is what influences you. And I had that Die Hard poster up when I was writing Sixth Sense, and I was like, maybe he could do it. And he's from where I'm from. He's from nearby. He's from New Jersey, and I'm from Philadelphia. So he's very close. So there's always a local hero kind of feeling to him. It was bartender that became the biggest actor in the world. Twisted, and that was the word it came. And not necessarily plot twist, but kind of oddness, weirdness, like embracing kind of the oddity of things. And I talk a lot about how Pedro Almodovar and David Lynch influenced me in these last couple movies, and that weirdness, that twisted sense of humor. And the word came to me was master, because when I worked with him on Split, I stopped. I would call cut, and I'd go over to James and I'd say, "What have you been doing? Because there's almost no one in the world that can do what you're doing right now." And he'd stare at me. I'm like, "I'm not kidding." I was like, "You need to fire everyone around you, because you're at the highest level of acting." He's like, "Oh, thank you, man." I'm like, "I'm not joking. No one can do what you're doing." And when you see Glass, his performance is so insanely good that he's a master. He's a physical master in acting. He can do any accent. He's like that. He can change from personality to personality. Incredible.
Cristal. Glass, 18 de enero en cines.